Good day, future educators. This is Teacher Emmy. So, for today's video, we will be discussing the course focusing on the teaching and assessment of macro skills by answering the provided review questions. To give you an overview, this course provides the pre service English teachers the competencies to explore the nature of the macro skills and the theoretical basis, principles, and methods and strategies in teaching and assessing listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. But before we start our bluff review session, here are the following instructions. First, you may get a piece of paper and a pen to answer. Number two, you will have a 10 seconds to answer each question. And number three, the correct answer will be shown right after each number. So, without further ado, if you are ready, are you ready? So, let's begin. All right, question number one. What are the macro skills in language learning? Is it A, reading, writing, speaking, listening, and viewing? Letter B, reading, notating, speaking, listening, and reviewing? Letter C, reading, writing, speaking, hearing, and viewing? Or letter D, reading, speaking, representing, listening, and viewing? So you have 10 seconds to answer, and your timer starts now. Okay, your time is up, and the correct answer is A. Reading, writing, speaking, listening, and viewing. So basically, about 20 years ago, communication arts in English introduced the four macro skills: the speaking, reading, writing, and listening. However, with the breakthrough of technology and the fast changing landscape in communication, the fifth macro skill, both in English and Filipino subjects, which is viewing, has been developed. So letters B, C, and D are detractors because letter B, the word notating is wrong, and it means to notate a text or to record information. But letter C, the word hearing is wrong, and it is a essential step in listening skill. And then the letter D, the word representing is wrong because it means to act or speak for someone. All right. So next question. Okay, question number two. It refers to perceiving, examining, interpreting, and constructing meaning from visual images and is crucial to improving comprehension of print and non-print materials. So, is it A, reading, B, speaking, C, viewing, or D, writing? So, your timer starts now. Okay, time is up. So, the answer for number question two is viewing. Okay, so viewing is the macro skill that broadens ways in which students can understand and communicate ideas through nonverbal communication. And there are ways to present ideas visually, like drawings, photographs, organizational graphs, charts, videos, and other multimedia and web-based correspondence. So reading, speaking, and writing are detractors. So why? So reading, it is the ability to draw meaning from the printed page and interpret this information appropriately. While speaking, it is the delivery of language through the mouth. To speak, we create sounds using many parts of our body, including our lungs, vocal tract, vocal cords, our tongue, feet, and lips. In our own language, speaking is usually the second language skill that we learn. Now, writing is the process of using symbols to communicate thoughts and ideas in readable form. Writing also allows for a more meaningful and in-depth transmission of ideas compared to speaking. All right. So next question. Question number three. In the language subject, students are required to participate in a debate where they must construct persuasive arguments, What expressive skill is primarily applied in this activity? Is it A, reading, B, speaking, C, writing, or D, listening? So your 10 seconds starts now. Okay, your time is up, and the correct answer is B, speaking. Because speaking, it is an act of making vocal sounds. It means to express one thoughts and feelings in spoken language. Debate as a form of argumentative speaking can flow naturally from one person to another in the form of dialogue. Students can deliver a speech or arguments through being well spoken. Now, reading, writing, and viewing are the detractors. As we have mentioned in the previous question, reading is a complex cognitive process of decoding written symbols. Then, writing refers to the act of putting ideas in text, whether print or non print. And then, the viewing is a skill that refers to perceiving, examining, interpreting, construction of meaning, and visual images. Okay, yeah. And yeah, the correct answer is speaking. So let's move forward to question number 4. What stage of writing student will be able to identify their chosen topic in writing and identify their audience? Is it A, pre-writing, B, drafting, C, revising, or D, publishing? So you have 10 seconds to answer and your timer starts now. Okay, your time is up and the correct answer is A, pre-writing. The pre-writing in this stage, the writing process, the students begin to plan the writing. So they will need to define a task and purpose. They will identify the audience, brainstorm ideas, narrow their chosen topic, and plan and organize the information they have gathered. So drafting, revising, and publishing are our detractors. So in drafting, so during this stage, the students make their first attempt at fleshing out the pre-writing idea and forming it into a written work. So while revising in this stage, a draft is reread and decisions are made to rework and improve. Then in establishing um, or publishing, so in this stage, the students share their writing with others and make a final and clean copy of their work. So that's the answer for question number 4. Let's move on to the question number 5. Okay. Which type of reading involves looking for a specific piece of information in a written text? Is it A, extensive reading, B, intensive reading, C, skimming, or D, scanning? You have 10 seconds to answer and your timer starts now. Okay, your time is up and the correct answer is D, scanning. So the correct answer is scanning because this type of reading technique involves looking only for specific information such as keywords, numbers, names, or etc., while you omit the other details. Now, this technique is automatically being used by everyone who has tried to find a person in a telephone book. So, if you're familiar with a telephone book, you need to scan all the information for you to find the person. Okay, so the extensive reading, intensive reading, and skimming is the detractors. So, extensive reading, it focuses on reading for pleasure, while intensive reading is the most time consuming of all the reading techniques because this maintained this main goal here is to retain the information for the long term or the long time. While skimming, it involves reading more in less time, like reading an article in a newspaper. So, if you're familiar with a newspaper and you are reading an article, the smaller details are being disregarded, and you simply focus on the main words, which is enough to get the meaning of the article. All right. So that is the correct answer. Let's move forward to the number five. Okay, question six rather. Question six. Teacher M asks her students to transcribe a conversation from an audio recording. Which receptive skill is primarily assessed in this activity? So, is it A, discriminative listening, B, comprehensive listening, C, appreciative listening, or D, rapport listening? So, your 10 seconds and your timer starts now. Okay, your time is up, and the correct answer is comprehensive listening. So, when we say comprehensive listening, this involves understanding the message or messages that are communicated. This is one of the most difficult types of listening because it requires you to not only concentrate but to actively participate in the process. So, the more you practice listening to comprehend, the stronger listener you become. So, discriminative, appreciative, and rapport listening are the detractors because discriminative listening is the most basic form of listening and it does not involve understanding of the meaning of words or phrases, but merely the different sounds that are produced. So, in English, or if in English language, so you're just uh, you're just listening, the most basic form. Then appreciative listening, it is just listening for enjoyment. And then rapport listening, it is engages in a type of listening that encourages the person to trust you or like you. So in a conversation, you tend to build rapport. All right. So that's the answer for question number six. Let's move on to question number seven. So, what type of listening is when a person listens to the speaker without giving any feedback? Is it A, competitive, B, active, C, intrusive, or D, passive? So you have 10 seconds to answer. Your timer starts now. Okay, your time is up, and the correct answer is D, passive or passive listening. So, um, passive listening is the act of hearing a speaker without retaining their message. This highly valued interpersonal communication skill that ensures you're able to engage and later recall the specific details without needing or repeated information. While competitive, active, and intrusive listening are the detractors, because competitive listening, when we say competitive listening, it is known as combative or aggressive listening. So it is a style wherein the listener focuses on their own agenda and interrupts or discredits the speaker rather than truly listening to understand. While active listening, it is the ability to focus completely on the speaker and understand their message, comprehend the information, and respond thoughtfully. And then intrusive listening is a form of listening that is characterized by a lack of empathy, respect, and consideration for the speaker's feelings or needs. So the correct answer is passive. All right, next question. Teacher E provided the visual material with the three random titles. Then he asked one of his students to read a random passage and decide what is the most appropriate title for the passage. What kind of receptive skill takes an active role in this reading process? Is it A, intensive reading, B, extensive reading? Is it C, top-down processing, or D, bottom-up processing? So you have 10 seconds to answer and your timer starts now. Okay, your times is up, and the correct answer is C, top-down processing. So when we say top-down processing, it is it is a teacher style that focuses on providing students a large view of the subject. They immerse them in the big picture without explaining the components that make up that subject. So in this situation, teacher E just provided a visual material with three random titles, and then he asked one of the students to read the passage or the random passage available, and then asked them to decide what is the most appropriate title for the passage. So this helped them to more immerse in the bigger picture of the passage rather than being specific. But the detractors are intensive reading, extensive, and bottom-up processing. So, intensive reading, this focuses on the detailed comprehension, often involving a shorter text and a close analysis of the language elements like vocabulary and grammar. While extensive, it emphasizes reading longer text for pleasure and also general understanding while prioritizing fluency and building reading skills. And then last one is bottom-up processing. This is the process where you understand a text by recognizing specific elements like phonemes or combining the syllables into words. All right, so those are the detractors. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. April saw an accident on her way to school. Since she was the only bystander, there were bystander there, she was interviewed by the reporter regarding the incident. So what type of speech she probably used? A. Impromptu speaking. B. Extemporaneous speaking. C. Manuscript speaking. Or D. Memorized speaking. So you have 10 seconds to answer and your timer starts now. Okay, your times is up, and the right answer is impromptu speaking. So, impromptu speaking, it is the representation or presentation of a short message without advanced preparation. So, impromptu speeches are often occur when someone is asked to say few words or give a toast on a special event. So, in this specific situation, so April will be asked a few more questions regarding the incident that happened since she was a bystander. Right, so the extemporaneous manuscript and memorized speaking are the detractors. So when we say extemporaneous speaking, it is the representation of a carefully planned and rehearsed speech spoken in a conversational manner using brief notes. And by using these notes rather than a full manuscript, the extemporaneous speaker can establish and maintain eye contact with the audience and assess how well they are understanding the speech as it progresses. While manuscript speaking is the word for word iteration of a written message, in a manuscript speech, the speaker maintains his or her attention on the printed page except when using visual aids. Then last is memorized speaking. Memory speaking, it is the rote recitation of a written message that the speaker has committed to memory. So, such example like actors and artists, they are reciting from their memory whenever they perform on a television, stage play, program, or movie scene. So, when it comes to speeches, memorization can be useful when the message needs to be exact and the speaker doesn't want to be confined by the notes. All right, so next question and the last question, number 10. After reading the Romeo and Juliet unit, teacher B assigned the students to submit a final book report analyzing its themes, character development, and literary devices. So, what type of assessment is this? Is it A, diagnostic, B, formative, C, summative, or D, performance based assessment? You have 10 seconds to answer, and your timer starts now. All right, your time is up, and the right answer is C, summative assessment. So, a summative assessment evaluates student learning at the end of a unit, course, or a term. They are used to determine how well students have met learning objectives and to provide a comprehensive overview of student achievement. So, examples of summative assessments are exams or long quiz, such like that. And for our detractors, we have the diagnostic, formative, and performance-based assessment. When we say diagnostic, these help teachers understand what students already know and identify the gaps, any gaps in their understanding before beginning a new lesson or unit. So, like if you're familiar with pre-tests or like um, exams before entering university, so it will test your background knowledge regarding the unit or course that you will be taking. Okay, so for performance-based assessment, this involves tasks that require students to apply their knowledge and skills in real-world context or through practical demonstrations. So those are the activities or assessment that is done inside the class or class hours. So that's it. That's it. That's the 10 item questions for this lab review session, and I hope that you have learned something regarding our topic with teaching and assessment of the macro skills, and I hope that we will succeed in our BLEPT examination soon. So again, this is Teacher Amy, and I am grateful and thankful for your time to listen this review. And that's it for today. Bye bye for now.